Hello, 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 hello. How y'all guys doing? Welcome to Mo Bites. This is the show where I give you guys bite-sized pieces of my brain. So this week is actually quite interesting. This week we're going to be talking about a very interesting topic. We're talking about office flirtation, do's and don'ts. I basically have put down a list of items that I think can help you guys navigate the sexy but taboo waters of office flirtation. So without further ado, let's get straight into it. Office flirtation, do's and don'ts. Number one, definite do. So guys, there are two reasons why, if I could actually just take a step back and educate you guys for a bit, right? So there are two reasons why offices were actually made and that offices are even a concept today. The first one is politics. Offices were made so that the politics and the drama and emotion and theater of our lives would have a stage in which it could all play out on or in. For all of us to gawk at and to see and to enjoy and take humor or depression from, Offices were made for politics, essentially. Hence the term office politics. The second reason, my favorite reason, excuse me, is this one of flirtation. So that we, as human beings, could exercise our constitutional human right to flirt in the office with people we don't really like, but tolerate, and have no intention of having a sustainable, stable, long-lasting, healthy, functioning, romantic relationship with. So please go forth and conquer with office flirtation, because it is one of the reasons why offices were made. And I think there was a study from one of the best universities in the world. Yes, that one. That's the one that you're thinking of. I can't mention it, for obvious reasons, but that university published a study saying this is the reason why we have offices. So please go forth and conquer with office flirtation. So definitely do. Number two is that you have to keep it light, keep it fun, keep it funny, keep it easy. There's a thin line between quirky and creepy, like a really thin line. And you want to go for more quirky than creepy, unless of course, I don't know, maybe you're going for the whole serial killer charm, in which case I suppose creepy could really work for you. But I'm gonna go ahead and assume that's not the vibe you're going for, in which case I do say more quirky, less creepy. So a good flirt is fun for all to be enjoying, and you want people to be laughing with you, not at you. So definitely quirky over creepy. So think you want to come across as quirky and charming, not creepy and alarming. So think more Obama, less Trump, and I'm gonna leave it at that. Number three, location, location, location. I cannot stress this enough, guys. With office flirtation, it's all about having the right time and the right place to make that moment land the way to have it land within the same humor that you intended it. So it's all about using the context of the moment and the ambiance that context creates to communicate the humor and to communicate the message that you want to get across. And if you are very smart and you are able to read a room and to read the moment, what happens is that you then have less pressure on yourself to make it funny, because the context will do 70% of the work for you, and so there's less work for you to do to bring the humor and to bring the wit and the banter out of it, because the moment has already created that ambiance. So essentially, for example, witty banter in the elevator up, to the office, that's cute, it's sexy. The context of the two of us in the elevator is creating an ambiance where, everything is rolling off our tongue, it's funny, there's that back and forth, there's a give and take, and it's fun, it's funny, it's light, and it's easy. But witty banter in the middle of a business review in front of, our colleagues and bosses is not cute or sexy or fun or funny for anybody. So no to that, and yes to the elevator scene. Now that I'm actually saying it out loud, I'm realizing how cliche that might sound, but I still think elevator scenes are a timeless classic. But that's just me. Form. This is really important. So you can look, don't stare. Staring is creepy, and you want to be quirky, not creepy. You can compliment, because compliments are good, but you can't touch, you can't grope, you can't objectify. And excuse me, allow me to get like a little preachy for like 1 second here, is to say yes to office flirtation and a big no to sexual harassment. The two are not the same, guys. So please don't go around harassing people in the name of flirtation and like witty banter. They're not the same. And the most important part about this is that a good flirt is a back and forth, engagement. It's I say something, you say something back, I read you, you read me, I'm witty, you're witty, I land the pun, you get the pun. It's cute, it's sexy, it's back and forth engagement, and we're giving as much as we're getting, and we're constantly, doing this like back and forth. So, essentially there's two people and they're tangoing, they're tangoing rather. But with sexual harassment, it's like there's one person doing a whole lot of the talking and a whole lot of the advancing, and the other person retreating and constantly saying, yo, I'm uncomfortable, can you please stop? So the two are not the same. Don't go around harassing people sexually in the office, or well, anywhere actually for that matter. But essentially don't go harassing people and being like, oh no, I'm just a harmless flirt. No. And number 5, linked to that, is when you have been, like when you've been asked to stop because you're making people uncomfortable, do so immediately. Refrain from any more communication like that. Apologize profusely for any discomfort or inconvenience that you would have caused, because at the end of the day, you want to make sure that people are comfortable, and you want to make sure that you are respectful of their comfort levels. You don't want to initially cause discomfort for people. So just like be a good person, like be the good person that you are. And that's me, I'm done being preachy. Alright, number 6. Puns, ambiguity, wit. These are your friends. Use them endlessly, but use them wisely. So if you're interacting with someone who has a tendency to take things very literal, you might want to ease up on things like puns and things like ambiguity, because they won't land as humorous as you intend them to be, in which case you run the risk of appearing more creepy than quirky, and it then just gets awkward and uncomfortable for you and for everyone in that moment. And the important thing about this is to make sure, the important thing about puns, ambiguity, and wit, and creating, that funny banter, is you guys have to actually be in the same comedic paradigm. And when you aren't in the same comedic paradigm, you find that a lot of the stuff that you meant as humorous doesn't land as funny as you had intended it, and doesn't really have the intended effect. Alright? So, keep track of your guys' comedic paradigm and play in that space. And if you're not in that space, well, then maybe just don't play at all, because it could get awkward real quick. Number 7, say something without saying something. Alright, so this is actually probably my favorite thing on this list, because I really like this. This is like my favorite thing about flirting in general. Finding ways to say something without saying something. And I think the ability to communicate your point and to communicate, you know, the humor of that point without actually like explicitly saying it, I think that will always be a timeless classic, like forever and always. So it's all about, you know, finding ways to use your hand gestures, to use the movement of your eyes, a smirk, a laugh, to use, you know, your body language essentially, to use the context and the ambiance of a moment to basically say everything that you wanted to say and have it land in the way you want it to land, but without explicitly actually saying it, you know. And if I had to explain it in terms of your telling a story, I'd say you have an introduction, you don't say anything about the body, but then you have your conclusion, and you allow your introduction and your conclusion to basically write the body of the story for you. That's how I kind of think about it, you know, in terms of like in my mind, that's how I think about the ability to say something without actually saying something. Introduction, conclusion, I'll leave the body up to you. But yeah, find ways to say something without saying something. Number 8, also very important, don't forget that you're here to work, not flirt. And this is kind of important, like you need to make sure that your work to flirt ratio is skewed towards work. So this is work and this is flirt. It needs to be like that. Even if it's like 51-49 skewed to, you know, work, it needs to be skewed to work, because like unemployment is a rather unattractive quality, you know. And the thing about office flirtation is that it needs an office in which you can flirt, and linked to that you need a job that, you know, puts you in the office for you to flirt. So if you don't have the job, you don't really have an office, and so then you're just doing flirtation, which I suppose you could do, but it just isn't as fun, you know, or funny. I don't know. Yeah. So don't forget that you're here to work, not flirt. And if you find yourself struggling with this particular one, right, and you find yourself flirting more than working, what you need to do is look really busy. So be one of those people who just, excuse me, always looks really busy. Like we all know those people in our lives, like whether it's at work or it's at like in your personal life with your friends or your family. We all know those people who just always look like they're going through the most. Like their life is one big production. They just always look like they're doing a lot. But when you sift through, you know, the smoke and mirrors, you realize that there isn't really much substance to what's actually getting done. So be one of those people, because from the outside looking in, they look super busy, they look super productive, and they just look like one of those people who's just always getting something done. So be one of those people, you know. And a really cool way to do that is to do things like roll up your sleeves, you know, always be rushing out of one, you know, meeting room to another meeting, you know, have multiple gadgets, have 2 phones and a laptop and an iPad, and you're always ticking and clicking and typing away on all of these things, you know. Use buzzwords. So whatever industry like buzzwords you guys have, use those. Those are also like really cool to make you look super busy. So say things like, as a matter of fact, I don't agree, or the evidence would suggest, or I'm given to understand, or women in the workplace. That's also a really cool one. Diversity and inclusion, synergy. Oh, synergy is a timeless classic. So like just leverage synergy, use the synergies, find synergies, you know. Throw in synergies. Just that's actually a really cool one. Enterprise development is also another one that's kind of, you know, really buzzy. So just find ways to use those, you know, and it just makes you look really busy. And if you really want to commit to this character, be one of those people who just doesn't like say anything at all, and who just basically don't use their words. You know those people who are like, instead of saying enterprise development, will say ED. Instead of saying women in the workplace, they'll say WIW. Just like leave the T out altogether. Because it just makes you look so much more productive. It's like you're so busy and so productive that you're trying to like steal every extra second you can from the day. So the 2.5 seconds you like saved between enterprise development and now saying ED is going to revolutionize the way that you're going to be able to like work and produce. You know, And it sounds silly, but I know people who have built thriving thriving careers based on this philosophy of just look busy and look productive. Because guess what? Perception is everything. So yeah, be one of those people. Number 9. Okay, fine. Have clear boundaries and lines. And you know what I'll say about this is that if you are one of those one thing led to another people, then just don't flirt in the office. Like, just don't do office flirtation at all, because sooner or later you're gonna find yourself doing things and leading into another. You know, so just don't be about it. And what I'll say to this point is, an office flirt is a 9 to 5 flirt. It's 9 to 5, Monday to Friday. When you start doing things that take it out of that context and out of that paradigm, you're in trouble. So when you start having brunches on a Saturday, you're in big trouble, because now you are starting to head for the fall part of the waterfall. And at some point you're gonna hit that fall and you're gonna like land really hard. So don't take a 9 to 5, Monday to Friday flirt outside of that paradigm. And when you start doing brunches with people, that's I don't even know what you're doing when you start doing brunches with people. Like, and brunches are like the most confused like part of the day. Like they are the most confused like meal of, you know, the day. Like, if like, I just think brunch is a lot in general. I just generally think brunch is just a lot, because one person, you know, will want to order, you know, a fruit salad with fat-free plain yogurt, and then someone else wants to have a gourmet steak with like a fucking Guinness or something, you know. And both of those are actually okay. Like, even restaurants themselves are confused about how to handle brunch. They just don't know, can we still offer people bacon and eggs after, you know, 11:45, or no, can we, you know, or do we put it in a burger with a patty and then it's okay, because technically it's not breakfast, but we can't actually just like put it on a plate for people to like eat as bacon and as eggs with some toast or something. Even restaurants themselves don't know how to handle brunch. Like, if brunch had like a form of expression or like a sexual orientation, brunch would be queer as fuck. Like, brunch would just be like, this is me, you know, I am what I am when I am it, you know, like, so just don't do it. Refrain from doing that. Keep your 9 to 5 flirt within the 9 to 5, Monday to Friday hours. Draw the boundaries and respect those boundaries. And if you're one of those people who can't respect boundaries, then just don't flirt in the office, because you're gonna land yourself in hot water at some point in time. Yeah, alright, and number 10, lastly, guys, I reiterate, please keep it fun, funny, light, and easy. A good flirt is fun and funny for all to enjoy. You know, it's about using the context of that moment. It's about using the ambiance that, you know, you're in at the moment. It is, you know, it's about making sure that you are creating an environment of a back and forth witty banter. And if you're using the context of the moment and that ambiance, there's less work that you need to do to keep the banter going. It will happen naturally because the moment allows for it. So keep it fun, keep it funny, keep it light, keep it easy. And yeah, those are my, you know, 10 Mobite pieces of advice in terms of how to flirt successfully in the office. So go forth and conquer, guys. There are plenty of like sea in the office flirtation waters. So go forth, go conquer, have a lot of fun, and make sure that the people that you're engaging with are also having fun. It's more fun when we're all having fun together, so do that. And yeah, guys, thank you for watching. Please subscribe to my blog, that's momalele.wordpress.com. Thank you very much for watching. Please feel free to like, to share, to spread the word, to comment, let me know what you guys think. And I hope this was helpful to all you guys. But anyways, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys later with more videos. Deuces.